All right, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing all and well. I am going to create a video using the Solidity language, which will be explaining the background of a constructor and why exactly a constructor is so important. First off, what I'm going to basically do is explain what a constructor is. So a constructor is a special function that is only used after having an executed contract. So its basically purpose is the second something gets deployed, you're going to have it actually used whatever you use it for. So I'll give you an idea real quickly. What we really generally use it for is going to be that I've always seen it generally for. It can be used for a lot of other things. But a popular one will be using it for an address and using it for the idea of a minter. The minter is used for someone who is going to basically deploy the contract, and it's a security idea that's basically used that when you use a constructor, it's the idea of a minter is equal to the msg.sender, and the msg.sender is a global variable that is used to help identify the person who deploys the contract. And it's, again, like I said, uses security because generally you don't want to be able to have someone that uses your deployment and be able to do whatever they want when you may have two parties in it. You may have only the person who you feel is reliable, so maybe you can actually make any of the shot calling. So we made some sort of a address, and it's going to be public. And then we have the minter, which again, we're going to use a constructor. A constructor is going to have some sort of a minter equals to the msg.sender. Like I said, the msg.sender is a global variable that is used to help identify the person who deploys the contract. So I'm going to show you basically how it's kind of used and why it's so important, and you can kind of generally see it inside of a function. So I'm going to write function, and I'm not going to make it too difficult or anything like that. We don't really need for it to go further than it needs to be, so I'm just going to say that only minter, and I'm going to write down that there's just going to be some sort of a uint, so it's going to be some sort of a number, and it's going to be public, and we're going to say view. And then we're also going to add in, so view is just basically to help actually show. So different from every other type of language, you use Solidity. Solidity is a static language. It basically means you have to help identify certain things. So like, differ from like some sort of a Python where you can basically do some sort of string by just saying print and having some sort of, or return and being able to. You actually have to identify it as your scope in the actual function itself. So we have it as only a minter, going to be some sort of a number that you're going to put in. Whatever the parameter is will be basically a number. You're going to have it as a public function, and you're going to be able to view it. It's going to say returns uint. Now what we're going to basically add is a require function. And the requirement is going to be that it equals to the minter. The only difference, though, is it's not just equal. It has to make sure that they are the same. You're going to close this, and you're going to say return. Oh, it's underscore number. Now, what we're going to basically do right now is we're going to actually set this up as a deploy. So remember I told you that when you deploy the function, that's when you'll be able to actually show that this constructor is used. And we're going to basically have this function that is used, and the function is going to be basis on whoever deploys the contract, which is the msg.sender, which is that global variable. So now if we read back and look right up here, EDDC4, the second I click this button, it shows that it's being 100% check marked. Bink. Okay. Click this button right here. Now we can see who is the minter. The minter is going to be, remember, the person who deploys it. So if I click on this, EDDC4, it's the person who clicked it to actually start this. I'm on this account. Now only the minter can only put in this. So if I put 20, it should work, right? Because it's going to work based on this. I also can actually, let's do this. You are not the minter. Let's fix that up one more time. Sorry, let's try this over again one more time. Deploy it. The minter is going to be that EDDC4. I'm going to put in 20. Now when I click on this, it will work. No problem, right? You can see that it's been executed. It's been called. The second I switch it to a different account. Oh, it says right here, you are not the minter. So I think it's very important to just realize first off why exactly a constructor is used and why exactly use the require function. It basically allows you to be able to create some sort of a special state variable that is used in the contract at the actual time of the execution, which then we use the require function, or we can also use the modifier to then establish only the minter is able to be deploying the contract or doing the shots for the contract. I hope this explains well. If not, please go ahead and ask anything in the comments, and I can help verify/explain any of these issues. I hope everyone is doing well. I'll be doing a lot more videos, and yeah, we'll get your knowledge back up on Solidity and other programs sooner than later. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.